What's going on YouTube? I'm D-Rec and you're watching Argo, where I bring you some of the latest card fight content, news, and updates. And in today's video, we're going to be going right into our first feature match in quite some time. I haven't posted one in several months now. We're going to kick it off with the new series in Standard. So we've got Granblue on the left and we've got Royal Paladin on the right. And we're just going to see how well Granblue, being a top tier deck, stacks up against Royals, being a mid to low tier deck right now by comparison to other decks like Dimension Police, Tachikaze, Spikes, OGT of course, because that's pretty much the best deck in Standard currently with the amount of draw and the ability to get resources in Standard. So starting off, we're going to have the Royal Paladin player go first. We're going to ride into Knight Squire Allen for their first turn and pass after drawing for Glimy skill. Going into the Granblue player's turn, they're going to ride into Dandy Guy Romario and the draw off Guiding Zombie. So he doesn't look like he's going to set up for his first turn, swinging for 8k with no offensive trigger checks there and no defensive trigger checks from the Royal Paladin player. He now goes into Blaster Blade for his grade 2 turn with the Wiggle Booster, and Allen with the skill to call out Jaren, and then drawing a card off of the skill there. He's going to greed out and call a Marin and Blaster Blade to the right side with a swing from Blaster Blade for 23 and an inherent crit. No offensive trigger checks from the Royal Paladin player there, with 2 damage, first being a heal and second being a Ruin Shade. Then 18k swing to an 18k base Romario for the 5k shield. It looks like he's going to do just that. And then Jaren in there with Allen for 26k against the 18k Romario for 3 damage. So now the Granblue player is sitting really in a tough spot just because they're already at 3 damage. We really don't want to see that this early on, but the aggressive rush plays from the Royal Paladin player is going to make it just that and put him in a pretty big pinch. He's going to ride into Ruin Shade Miltu for the skill and drive check a Romario. Really not getting lucky here with the setup. He's really only got a few cards in hand to work with, no defensive options as it seems, and the Royal Paladin player is going to go into Soul Saver Dragon for their first grade 3 ride turn, giving the force marker to Jaren. A very odd choice, I would suggest, just because Blaster Blade sitting at a measly 18k by comparison. Jaren's already at 23k, swinging for that magic number to get around the single defensive trigger check. But, of course, that also means it's going to be a little bit harder to guard once they get into the mid-game. He's going to call out a Gigantic Charger to the right side over the Blaster Blade for the 31k column off that. So, looks like he's going to contemplate, and he's going to use Marin's skill for the draw, and now he is going to be at 3 cards in hand, and that column there is going to be 34k with the swing from Soul Saver for 21 at the Vanguard. It looks like the Granblue player is not guarding for 2 drive checks. We got a first check heal. The heal is not going to go off, but the power is going to go to Charger, and then a critical trigger, critical to Vanguard of course, and the power to Jaren. So 2 damage right off the bat, also with 2 defensive trigger checks there. The Granblue player is going to send a Dancing Cutlass to the drop zone, of course, for the setup and the counter-charging aspect. He just needs 1 more to make that combo work. So we're looking at 44,000 at the opponent's Vanguard. That's now sitting at 30k. He's going to need 15k to stop this attack. But the Granblue player is struggling a little bit for guarding there. He's going to need another 5k. That's not quite enough there. He's going to need a little bit 5 more. Doesn't look like the Royal Paladin player catches on to that. Oh wait, nope, he sees it. He's going to call him out. See that he needs another 5k shield to make that attack work. He's going to guard with Captain Night Mist, and then he's going to swing with the Jaren combo for 1 damage. Now putting the Granblue player to 5, while the Royal Paladin player is sitting at 2 damage. Riding into Basskirk, he's going to get his Protect Gift marker right off the bat and see if he can go into some setup plays. But it doesn't look like he's got quite enough setup to really make the plays work. Unfortunately, he might not be able to do too much this turn, which is a very bad sign for the Granblue player going into his first grade turn especially. But he's going to use a skill, Counter Blasting Soul Blasting 1, to get the Ruin Shade from the Soul onto his rear guard circle. Of course, that would be milled first, and then he plays it out. Calling another unit to the left side column there. He's now got a pretty solid setup, not too great, but it's enough to get into it, but might not be enough to put on an enormous amount of pressure. So he's going to take the first Vanguard attack with no offensive drive check triggers there to really put on the offensive pressure. And he's got 2 more attacks, very small attacks I might add. He's going to go for the intercept there, and then he's going to swing with Ruin Shade for the mill too, and almost forgets the drive check there, but he does not. And the Royal Paladin player takes it, putting him at 4 damage. So drawing for turn, the Royal Paladin player takes his turn in what may be the last turn of the game. Looking at the cards in the Granblue player's hand, it does not look like they're going to be ready for another big turn. Calling another Allen to get the skill off, he's going to call Flunigal from the hand to get the draw, and it's still a really solid column, potentially using that as a Soul Charger for Soul Saver, but won't get to the skill for Soul Charger. Soul Charging 1 off of Soul Saver's attack ability. Swing for 21, he's going to protect Gift with the first Vanguard attack, and no offensive triggers there. He's going to go into his second attack with Gigantic Charger for 21,000. He's going to swing at Vanguard once again. Needing 10k shield here to stop, he's going to guard with Dancing Cutlass, and the last attack for 36,000 at the opponent's Vanguard. And it does not look like he is going to be able to guard it. Is he going to be able to guard it? He is not going to be able to guard it, and the 6 damage for game. The Royal Paladin player takes our first standard feature match of this new era. Congratulations to that individual there, and really excited to start kicking these off again. Thank you all again for watching, and I will see you guys in the next video. Peace out.